I've long considered the familial bonds to be where a lot of the programming starts. We can focus on society and say society is where all the great ills start, but in every society there's a microcosm of mother, father, son. For those who are of us blessed to have those two things, or as most of us have, a broken family. And a lot of the beliefs, the things that hold us captive, start there. What do we do about that? You know, we have young parents still learning, still growing, already been influenced by their family and society, being told what is right, imparting that flawed knowledge to their children, and then being held accountable later on by those same children to say, hey, mother screwed me up, father screwed me up, his drinking, his anger, his lack of love, or too much affection. I mean, where does it end? I would like to think most of the people watching this are of an age and a mind to think and act on their own. And I kind of feel like psychology and a lot of the ways we address this is to attack the parents. I'm a parent now, and I'm separated from my child, and we have a routine that we keep up to make sure that we still have that familial bond. And I try to impart to him the things that either were not imparted to me or the things that were positive. And I think in the end, we have to forgive. I know this is not a new revelation, but I think forgiveness and taking accountability are things that will be the first step towards authenticity, towards making a world that is better, that is freer. I do not want to be beholden to the past to say this person has all the ills in my life are based on what that person did, or that I'm somehow absolved from the things that I believe. And that's why I say we can't rehash everything. We forgive, we recognize that everyone is working from a flawed system, and we say it begins with me or it ends with me. I'm not saying anything that's revolutionary. I'm not saying anything that no one's ever thought of. But I do believe that if you have an issue with a mother or a father or uncle, and I know some of these things run deep, it may be physical abuse, it may be emotional abuse, it may be an active, ongoing abuse. Um, you know, my advice would be to get out of the situation if you can. If you can, and some of us can, you have to create a space for yourself where you can make new choices. And those choices will cause other people to make new choices. And we can create a world where we no longer say, my life is messed up because of such and such. And we can say, I will redefine what is success for me. And I will redefine what is happiness for me. And I will reframe the relationships that I have. I will get rid of those that don't serve me, and I will work on those that I'm just afraid to fix. I mean, what is a phrase that the hatred you have or the need for revenge or holding up in your heart, it's like you're double held because the people who've harmed you have moved on. They don't hold. Think of it this way. Every one of us likes to see ourselves in the best light possible and the things we've done to others in the best way possible. And so if you are upset that that person cut you off in traffic, or that your mother didn't love you or didn't treat you XYZ, or your father was absent, they may feel some of the sting of that, but to them, there are reasons. and there was a reason why they did it, and it was all good intentions, and they were facing, you don't know what they were facing. So they're always going to see themselves in a better light, and you are always going to see it in a more victim mentality. And I think that's the thing we have to get to. The death of the victim mentality is the start of freedom. It's the questioning of the things that we were taught, the understanding that the people who taught us were also taught. And so I know that for many of us, this familial bond has a hold on us that is tremendous, that is debilitating. But I would like you to think about this in a new way. Without that family, you have no history. And with that history, you have a rich tapestry to draw on. Even in the worst family, there's something about it that you can say, this is who I am and why I am the way I am. And it can give you a sense of belonging, a sense of understanding of why you desire the things that you desire. I think it's more important to understand why you desire the thing, why you want the thing, than to decry, to complain about why you're like the way you are. Now, once you understand the why, you can then say, I don't want to do that anymore. I would like to give an example. So let's say you're from a family of alcoholics who abuse drugs and alcohol. In that, there is this understanding that there is a moving away from pain and a moving towards pleasure. It's a drowning of all the things that are going on to you, this desire for pleasure. That is a human thing. Now you just have to decide, one, are you going to face the things that are bothering you? Are you going to be the generation that stops that curse, that mentality? And will you seek out things that bring you joy that are not also poison to you? Let me know what your thoughts are on that. I am going through a similar thing where I felt like I was harmed. I'm still being affected, but I also know that my family loves me and that they are also facing the same difficulties that I'm facing. And it has to start with me. It has to stop with me and start with me. And as I'm sitting here, I know that if I make new choices, just that one act will be a ripple that will cause them to make new choices. And once we all make new choices, the world will be completely new.